Hi, my name's Minette Rushing, owner of Custom Cakes in Savannah, Georgia, and today I'm going to show you how I make filler flowers without cutters. Here's what you'll need: gum paste, a sharpened apple stick, a small spatula or any type of a knife tool, a ball tool, wire. I'm going to use 26 gauge for this demonstration, gum glue, a cell pad with the soft side up, wire cutter, needle nose pliers, a pouch with cornstarch, and some shortening. All right, I'm using 12-inch paper covered wires. You can use cloth covered if you want, whatever works. And like I said, they can either be green or white, doesn't make any difference. This is a 12-inch piece of wire, and I'm going to cut it 3 times, so there'll be about 4 inches long. All right, I'm going to put a small hook in the wire, and we'll do 2 at one time. Let's be a little more efficient. Kind of close it in, and this is what I mean by small. To make these flowers, I'm going to use small pieces of gum paste, and I'm going to roll them into a ball. And it tends to work better if you use smaller pieces of gum paste rather than larger. Like on this size guide, I've got number 6, and you can see 2/3 are above and then 1/3 is below is how you use the size guide. So in my opinion, it works best if you stay within the 5, 6, or 7, and the 7 starts getting a little bit big, and I think once the flowers get too big, they're not as attractive. All right, so I've pinched off a small piece of gum paste, and I'm going to roll it around and make a ball. I'll do that in the center of my palm. And then I'll take my apple stick, and I'm going to put it in about halfway. That's all I want to do, is put it in halfway. And I'm going to form it around the end of the cone so it ends up looking kind of like a Hershey Kiss. These particular flowers that I'm making have 4 petals, so I'm going to put 4 cuts in this, and I want to try to go around and get the cuts as even as I can, but knowing that I'm doing it freehand, they're not going to be perfectly even, and that's okay. So put your knife in, and you want to cut all the way through. I only cut about 1/3 of the way up. And turn it again, and then put 1 more cut in. So now I've got my 4 cuts. I'm going to take it off using the point. I'll take it off of the apple stick. All right, so now I'm going to hold just with my thumb and my index finger the bottom, and then open it up so it looks something like this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is the very edge here and here, I'm going to pinch. And you want that just to be a small pinch. And with my index finger and thumb, I'm going to flatten it out. So do a little pinch and then flatten it out. A little pinch. And when I'm going in to flatten it out, I'm going almost to the center, or as close to it as I can get. Okay? So pinch, and then flatten it out. All right, so now I have something that looks like this. I'm going to lay it on my cell pad and just kind of go back and forth and bring it out a little bit. And around, and that'll help cup the petals. So I'm widening the edges back and forth, and then round and round, and cupping them. And this is really a gentle motion, so you want to use a little bit of pressure, just enough to thin the edges and cup. Okay? So now we have a flower that looks like this. I'm going to take my wire that's got the hook in it, dip it into a little bit of gum glue, and put it right down the middle. Secure it onto the wire. And I like to make sure that I can't see the hook from the inside of the flower. Now, if the end of this is not even or straight, you can just hold your palette knife and that will cut the gum paste till it's nice and even. If you wanted to, you could put a stamen in there, but I don't usually. You can vary the size of the flowers by, like I said, using a smaller ball or a bigger ball to start with. You also can make 5 petals instead of 4, but I just really like the way 4 looks, and I like to cup them in a little bit so they kind of have that cupped appearance. Then to dry, I'm going to turn it upside down, bend the hook, and then place it on my flower dryer to dry. And they'll need to dry at least overnight.
There you go.
To finish the filler flower, I like to add a little bit of color just to the center, and I do that usually with a yellow or sometimes with a lime green. And then if you want to, you can also add a little bit of green, like a limey green, to the base, which would really give the illusion of a calyx.